Welcome back to a new video here at Life with the Bridges. Coming up in this video, I get behind the grill again to cook a mouth-watering lamb shank. We start the production of homemade food for Teddy, and I finally continue to work on my sorry state of vegetable production. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. But for now, grab a tissue as this lamb shank is going to have you drooling all over your sofa. I popped up to our local farmer who had recently culled their lambs and picked up some gorgeous organic little lamb shanks. Then we were getting straight to business with firing up the Kamado Joe, and then it was time to marinate the shanks whilst the barbecue got up to temperature. I unwrapped the lamb shanks, and because we were going to smoke this for 3 hours, then braise for a further 3 hours in a red wine sauce, we were keeping it simple with a binder of olive oil and good old salt and pepper.
Today is Saturday and we are here in Bridge Bar and Grill and we are cooking up an awesome Saturday feast of lamb shank, and this is how we make it. Starting off by smoking these for 3 hours, then I'm going to be braising them in an absolutely gorgeous red wine sauce so it all falls off and is tender, putting it over some mash with some tender stem broccoli, and that is Saturday night dinner here at Bridge HQ. Never cooked anything like this. If you're interested in this recipe, I'll pop a link in the description below so you can follow it too at your home and give this a good go. But let's see how this goes. Time to smoke these lamb shanks.
Due to smoking the lamb shanks on the barbecue slowly at a low temperature, I brought them inside to quickly flash fry them at high heat to seal all the meat, make sure we keep all the flavour inside. Then it was onto the barbecue at around 250 degrees Celsius with the fat side down, smoking them for about 3 hours over cherry wood to get that mouth-watering smoky flavour. Whilst the lamb started to cook, it was time to tend to my needy vegetables.
Right, whilst the old lamb shanks are cooking, I can finally plant my soon-to-be ginormous cucumber plant, which I was doing yesterday, but my son very inconveniently woke up, so I couldn't finish it. But today I'm going to plant them in soil. Aren't you lucky buggers? Right, soil, pots, let's go. Little knobbly knee mat. Definitely don't need the knobbly knee mat, but since I bought it, I just feel obliged to use it, so therefore I'll use it. Right, I've got my little decomposable pots from Lidl, which I'm going to spray. I don't know why I'm going to spray them, but just so they're all wet. A lovely environment for my, hopefully, amazing cucumbers to live in. Right. Would you please shut up? Now, the question is, because they're in this rot wall, do I A, try and pull them out, or B, leave them where they are? If I can break these apart without breaking the roots, looks quite easy. I'm breaking them apart. Bit of compost. I saw a really cool trick the other day. Go like this. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, that didn't work. Don't do that. Don't do. I said do not ever listen to advice on this channel when it comes to gardening yet. One day maybe. Not now. Okay. One root's kind of broken. I might plant it like that. First ever cucumber plant planted. Look at this one. Probably shouldn't be holding it by its stem. It's got roots growing out, so I feel obliged to just plant it as it is. I'm so heavy-handed, which is why sometimes I'm not the best at little intricate bits like this, because these bloody hammer hands end up breaking roots and stems. Anyway, second one in, third one. Oh, this is great. This is super exciting. Would you please be more considerate when I'm gardening? I'm not going to disturb the roots. This could be a bad idea, but when I split the first one, I broke one of the roots, and I do not want to do that. So press round the stem to give it support, Scott. Round the stem. And there we have my free cucumber plant. Let's give them a nice water. Fine mist. Woo! Woo! Okay. Woo! Woo! What's going on? Why does it keep spitting at me? Ah! Woo! And they can go and happily live in my greenhouse. And please don't die, because I'm putting all my trust in you guys. Because I only need 3, because I've got 3 canes and only a small greenhouse. So if you could all just please grow sensibly but extra large without dying, you'll make me a very happy 34-year-old man. Cool. Enough chat. I'm going to put you in your new home. Let's go. Now, the next thing I've decided to do, after looking at some of your comments about my asparagus, I'm going to take the plunge. I'm just going to plant them in their forever home. I don't want to to be able to feed the whole town. I just want to be able to say I've grown an asparagus. So my limp ones, I'm going to plant here and I hope that they're doing fantastically, and they're just a little bit lazy and just like a lay down. And then that can be my lesson learned. So I'm going to put them in a small pot and just space them evenly around, and just hope that if we ever move house or whatever, I can put this in the truck and I haven't lost my year's worth of growth, because apparently it takes 4 years to get a harvest. So I kind of want to start them now, so in 4 years time I can actually eat an asparagus. So a little bit of soil. Woo! Sure they won't like that. It's a bit it's called a mud brick. Break that up. I'm going to make it nice and deep, purely because, as I said, this is going to be their forever home. If they're going to root over 4 years' time, then they need a lot of soil. Oh, I must put some chicken poo in here. Chicken poo! I hope they like chicken poo, because that is a lot of poops in one pot. That's better. Hopefully the roots will grow down to the chicken poo and be like, oh, this is what we needed. Bit of chicken poop on a Sunday. And then they'll stand up, grow really tall, and I've successfully managed to grow some asparagus. That's my hope. Maybe they've just not got a big enough environment. Maybe those small little cells they're in are just too small. So when they get into this mansion, they'll be like, oh, yes! Right, enough moisture, more soil. Oh, listen to that. People mowing their lawns. It's not just me that's a little bit obsessed with being in the garden and planting stuff. Everyone's mowing their lawn. I'm not sure everyone talks to their vegetables, but that's what makes a prize-winning vegetable, ladies and gentlemen. Creating a good rapport with them. Come on, soil. That's like £4 worth of soil I've just used to plant some really limp, potentially dead asparagus. Have faith, ladies and gentlemen. Have faith. Right, let's go and get my asparagus. There they are, look. See, some are looking great. Others aren't, but if I try and hold them up and plant their stems slightly lower, hopefully the root system will still be there. Oh, this is going to be such fiddly work. Either way, here goes. First cell going in. Stand up for a minute, please. I think I'm ripping some. Oh, Lord. Oh, there goes one. R.I.P. Right, one's in, chaps. Once again, don't really know what I'm doing, but whatever. Right, are you living in this one, or are you just hugging your friend? What's going on? What are you doing? Stop cuddling. Leave each other apart. Thank you. Oh no, look at that. Look, it's all falling out, but they've got good roots, so maybe, just maybe, you never know. Go on, in you go. And you're in? Good. What's going on with you? What are you doing? He's having a nap. Stand up, would you? Stand up. 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to push that on there and pretend it's standing up. Right, you four, coming with me. This is your new home. No, not the roots. It's just going to have to press you in. Sorry. Nearly done one punnet. Oh goodness. Oh, that was a good one. Right, you go in, surround yourself with soil. Now just grow. Yes! That was a good one. Woohoo! 1 in 6 isn't bad. These ones are now upside down. You wait. If these come up, oh, what an exciting time that'll be. Right, that's one. On to the next. I'm going to put it on a time lapse because the rest of it's going to be boring. Not that the last bit wasn't. Well, they're in. And if I was going to describe it in a few words, it would be an asparagus massacre, because that didn't go very well. But all the roots are covered. I'm going to put them in now. Worst comes to worst, I can plant a few when it gets a little bit warmer in about a month or two. But they're in. They look very sorry for themselves. And maybe I'll just give them a lucky spray. Good luck. You can do it. Welcome to your new home, which I hope we spend together for the rest of our lives, and you forever feed my little family with your family. Right, let's find you a place in the greenhouse to either thrive or continue to die. So just to give you a little update of what I've just done, I am left with 3 cucumber warriors left, and I repotted 4 lonely tomatoes which were in there, which turns out the cells were waterlogged because it's flooded with water. So I'm hoping, oh my goodness, look at that rogue asparagus. Mental. Anyway, and my asparagus abomination. Garlic is still doing amazing. Shallots, fantastic. Hopefully those cucumbers will be going in there. Rocket seems to be doing okay. No parsley. 1 lonely carrot. Chilies have officially died, so funeral pending. Shallots, good. More garlic, good. Carrots, on the other hand, down there, ladies and gents. Look at them. We've taken flight there. This lettuce seems to be kind of recovering from its sunburn. Either the ginger's getting bigger or the weeds continuing to grow. But yeah, that's a little veggie roundup. I've made an absolute mess, as always. Time to get cleaned up. Go and check on my lamb shanks and then continue the recipe. So I need to make the sauce and then put the lamb shank in the sauce and let it braise for another 3 hours. And lastly, something else I'm going to do whilst I'm making the sauce for my lamb shank later is my mum come up with a genius idea of, rather than keep feeding him potato waffles, which are obviously soaked in oil and stuff to preserve them, we're just going to peel a load of potatoes and cut them up into square little chippies, which he absolutely loves, which are not going to be a huge amount better for him, but they're going to have a lot less oil in, which is something that, as we are kind of working on his diet and his nutrition and stuff like that, that is a little step forward. So we're going to bulk make some homemade square chippies and put them in the freezer, and we can use them instead of potato waffle, and it will save us money and hopefully be a little healthier turn for our little boy. So let's go and get to it. Lamb shank update. Oh, only quick, just a teaser.
Up next, we started the peeling process. Then it was time to cut them into squares using a good old Temu gadget.
Now it is time to use my special little cube chopper to make the square potatoes. And I'm hoping this is going to work a dream. Hoping being the operative word. So in here we have a little square cutter. That goes on there. That goes like that. That goes like that. And you... Incredible! Right, I've got a shitload of chippies to do. Let's go! I know they're not square, but I haven't really got the logistics to work out why they're not square, to be honest, but hey ho. Look! A whole wok of chippies. So, plan for now, part boil these, put a tiny bit of olive oil and some salt in them, and then put them on trays, freeze them so you can break them up individually, and then bag them up, and then we have a lifetime supply of chippies. Job done. Look at all this going in the compost. If I had chickens, ladies and gentlemen, I'd feed it to my chickens. I don't have chickens. One day, I'll have chickens. Mark my word. And I'll be able to feed on this nutritious carrot. Hey, Squidge!
Oh.
Teddy!
Yeah?
What are you doing?
Yuck.
You've got a rake and it's inside. What are you raking inside? And you're fixing the door with a rake. Awesome.
Whilst Teddy continued to go around bashing everything with his small rake, I peeled the carrots and prepped the rest of the veg to go in my red wine sauce to accompany my lamb shanks.
Right, 3 carrots, 3 celery, 2 onions. Right, time to chop.
I finally chopped the carrots, celery and onions into a bowl, and then it was time to fry them off to start making our red wine sauce. Get your notepads ready, as this recipe is going to be a quick one. Heat a pan and drizzle with olive oil. Add all your vegetables with a dusting of pepper and a sprinkling of salt. Add 2 teaspoons of chopped garlic and add a third if you want extra smelly breath. Then give it a good stir. Once the veg starts to soften, add 500 ml of chicken stock, and then here comes the good stuff, the red wine. Add a generous 600 ml of averagely priced vin rouge, 2 teaspoons of tomato paste, 800 grams of chopped tomatoes, some rosemary, thyme, bay leaves, and mix it together so all those ingredients really get to know each other. Once all the ingredients are officially friends, then it was time to grab the delicious lamb shanks off the barbecue and place gently into their new red wine jacuzzi, ready to braise for a further 2 to 3 hours until the meat is literally falling off the bone. Then it was time to check in with King Ted to see if the new homemade chippies were a hit.
Are they scrummy? Yummy, scrummy. Thumbs up for Daddy's chippies. Yee-hee!
Whilst the sauce bubbled away and the lamb slowly undressed itself off its bone, I lit the fire, as that always goes well with a nice winter warming dish like this, and then it was time for the creamy mashed potato. After boiling the spuds and adding a pinch of pepper, a poking of salt, and added 4 cubes of butter and some creamy spreadable cheese, then I realised I didn't have a potato masher, so I opted for a good old caveman fork. I mashed the potatoes within an inch of their life until the mash was velvety smooth like your wife's legs on her wedding day. Then it was time to add some foliage to the plate with some good old tender stem broccoli. Once that was cooked, I placed the creamy mash into a small bowl and smoothed out the bottom, as we all like a smooth bottom, don't we? and then we placed it upside down on the plate, and then the mound of mash was born. Gently push the back of the spoon into the mash, creating a little crevice to ladle in a nice helping of sauce before delicately placing the lamb shank on top. Cushion nicely with some broccoli to the left and some broccoli to the right, and then a gorgeous dollop of the sauce and the soft flavoursome veggies. Cut some chives over the top to make the dish look professional, and then jam the bone in the top like a flag of approval that you've just made a mouth-watering dish that is going to make people weak at the knees. And that is how you make a lamb shank in red wine sauce. And a perfect time to end that video there. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, a huge thank you to our Life with the Bridges family members, and remember, live for today, as tomorrow is never promised. Come back for our next video when I take on a monster project that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Catch you in the next one, chaps.